Welcome to Talking Bengals, a Bengals site made by fans for the fans. Check out Talking Bengals on iTunes, Google Play, Buzzsprout, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Talking Bengals. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Talking Bengals. I'm Casey, joined as always by Nick. And today we're going to be getting into some awesome topics to do with free agency, as well as make our top 10 lists in memory or to celebrate our 10th episode. Nick, how you doing?
Doing all right, Casey. How about you?
Well, can't complain too much except for about some of these free agent issues, so let's dive right in there. The first one I was so disappointed to see was Rex Burkhead becoming a Patriot. Oh, only thing worse than a Patriot would be a Steeler at this point. Nick, what are your thoughts on this subject?
I mean, we could talk about this till we were blue in the face. Obviously, we both like Rex. I think on all sides it's a bad deal for the Bengals at the very least. I mean, that's such a tool that we had that we just let go. Rex was just a good player, and we decided that we were going to leave him go. Let him go. Let one of your better running backs go. No, we don't need to hold on to that, right, Casey?
I mean, it's just so disappointing to see Rex leave. He was a guy that, he showed a lot of upside at the end of last year. And, unless you put Jeremy Hill against the Cleveland Browns every week, he was awful last season. He did not have a good year at all. So letting Burkhead go, especially to a team like the Patriots that's going to find the value in him, and, I could really see him having just an outstanding year and everybody going, wow, the Bengals are dumb. They didn't even use this guy except for, in rare occasions, tried to make him into a slot receiver, didn't really give him a whole lot of reps at the backfield until the last 2 or 3 games he was with the club. So I'm just disappointed in the Bengals for not even making an effort to re-sign Rex. And now, with the questions with Giovanni Bernard, if he's going to be back at 100% this year or not. And Jeremy Hill is just a giant question mark. We might as well just make that his nickname at this point, the question mark. Is he going to show up? Is he not? Can he make plays from outside the 3-yard line or not? That's always a question with Jeremy Hill. So losing Rex is just painful, but, we wish him the best. He's a class act guy, great player, and I feel like he's going to do great things for the Patriots. So my biggest just wanted to pound my head into a wall this week moment came when the Bengals decided to re-sign Andre Smith rather than test other people in the free agent market. Nick, what do you got?
We drafted him, if I'm not mistaken. I still don't know why we have him. He's a tackle. Yeah. Offensive lineman, sure. But he's only completed, I think it was 2 seasons since, 2009. So, it's you're looking at somebody who's not really a very good lineman at best. So hopefully I don't know what the Bengals were thinking about getting him. You already got a Boyhe, but I don't get it. I don't understand a whole lot of the choices that the franchise has been doing, but I don't know, Casey. What do you think?
Well, it was a frustrating signing to me because what it shows is that the Bengals don't want to find new, fresh talent. They're staying in this, like when they brought back Michael Johnson. They just want what is familiar to them. Andre Smith was a letdown player when he was here. That's why we let him walk away. He didn't really amount to his full potential. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. So instead of trying to bring in somebody new, maybe someone who needs a second chance somewhere other than their third chance back at their original franchise, the Bengals just are safe. Like, okay, we know this guy. We know he's not great, but he can do this much, so he can bring a little stability. And because we got a Boyhe and Fisher that are kind of on the fence and questionable at this point. But I don't know. You're just bringing garbage in, garbage out. You let the guy go because he wasn't worth retaining, and now you bring him back because you're in panic mode because you lost Whitworth, who was, your continuity, the guy that you were relying on to help you out in the long run. So I'm frustrated with the Bengals right now because why do you bring back Andre Smith? There's other quality tackles that are still on the market. Bringing back Andre Smith makes no sense at all. And then the Bengals decided to also re-sign T.J. Johnson. I don't really have a whole lot of feelings on that, Nick. I'll let you touch on it if you'd like to.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's kind of a utility lineman. I mean, he's seen time at the center position. He's seen time at the guard position. I mean, we got him. Might as well try to use him in a manner where he's actually going to play. If you're going to be paying him, why not let him play and try to, I don't know, get something out of him. The guy's young. He's talented, obviously. He's 20. I think he said he's 26 years old. He'll be 27 here shortly. I mean, why not? Give the guy a chance. Obviously he's going out there. He's working hard, and he played against Baltimore, and from whatever I can read, they said that he did well. So, I mean, just look at it this way. Why not? You're giving Andre Smith a chance. I mean, for God's sakes, 3 chances. You gave Pac-Man Jones, 40 billion chances. Why not give, T.J. Johnson a chance on the line? I don't know. There's a whole lot of questionable moves that we could talk about. I just don't understand it.
Well, I mean, we talked about how Andre Smith was the biggest, what the crap moment of the week. But a positive upload moment that I was not expecting at all was the Bengals signing Kevin Minter, the linebacker who was with the Arizona Cardinals for a few seasons, was a second-round draft pick at LSU a few years ago. And this is very uncharacteristic of the Bengals. They signed somebody who's 26 years old, not 36 years old, to play linebacker. I guess they realized, A.J. Hawk and Carlos Dansby were just not quite getting the job done. Bring in somebody with some youth who didn't have a bad career in Arizona. He just lacked a little bit of the opportunity, had a few injury problems, I think, his rookie year, but then panned out pretty well the other 2 years. He was just not a high-name, high-value guy, but he's somebody who could have some real potential with the Bengals. He could be that continuity as a linebacker. He could, come in and be a little bit of a fresh spark, and instead of having to deal with, the senior statesman in there like, well, Sonny, listen to me. I've had 12 years in the league. I know what I'm doing. He's another competitor. He's somebody that wants to scrap and play hard and get in there and, mix it up with the other linebackers. So I think this doesn't keep the Bengals from needing to draft a linebacker, but maybe not have to draft a linebacker as high. Nick?
I'm just going to read a quote that the Cincinnati Enquirer has on their article about us drafting him. It says, "The Bengals have a very stout defense, but my goal is to come in and play every down," Mentor said in a statement released by the team. "I'm excited to be a part of it, the way the organization embraced me on my visit. It just feels right." Also goes on to say that, the team's looking to, at a more long-term agreement, but, Mentor was obviously content to pretty much sign a prove-it deal with the Bengals, pretty much saying that, hey, I'll prove myself so that way you guys will give me more money and I'll stay for longer. You got to like it. I mean, a guy who wants to come in and work and compete, guy who wants to play and play hard, you got to love it. I don't know. I like it. I like Mentor. I thought he did well with the Cardinals. His tackling could be better, but, pass defense, he does well. He could be, a good weak outside linebacker. Could be well in any kind of the, passing downs or a second and long kind of linebacker. I don't know. He has some strengths and weaknesses, but obviously you try to boost the strengths.
Well, I do think there's some good upsides with Kevin Minter, and it's got to celebrate the victories when you get them. And 10 episodes for us is a victory, I consider. So happy 10 episode anniversary, Nick. So we're going to celebrate tonight by going through our top 10 concerns and excitements moving into the 2017 season. The way we're going to do this is I'm going to take our concerns and you're going to take our excitements. And I'm going to name a couple, we'll discuss them, and then roll in as we go. So to start off my big concerns, at number 10 is Giovanni Bernard. Is he going to come back healthy? I'm really worried about that. He's a great player. He brings an extra dimension, his agility, his poise, his explosiveness. Is it going to be there coming off a major knee injury? Number 9, Andre Smith. I just makes me scratch my head. It's a one-year deal. They're not losing any comp picks. But is he actually going to do anything that's going to be helpful for the team? Or are they going to plug him in as a safety net and not let Fisher or Boyehe get a chance to develop? I know we've bashed on Boyehe an awful lot, But now you bring in a guy that could possibly hinder Oboye from getting some development. So Andre Smith is a big concern. And then as a whole, at number 8 is the linebacking core. Even with the signing of Kevin Minter, I'm still worried about the linebacking core. Wonder how strong they can be. Is it going to be an effective solution this year? Are they going to get rid of Ray Malaluga and just keep him on the sideline, or release him, or do something with him to keep him off the field? That'd really be good for the team. At number 7, the coaching staff. I really just don't have faith in Marvin Lewis a whole lot that he's going to make something happen this season. He can get them over the hump in the playoffs and make good on his promise to, get Cincinnati to a Super Bowl and do all the things that they should do. And I'm still worried about Kim Zampese as well. He just concerned about the coaches. Number 6, the wide receiving core. Just other than A.J. Green, I got a lot of question marks. Brennan Fell did pretty well last year, but I don't know if he can continue that kind of success. Tyler Boyd is still pretty raw. So I am concerned about the wide receiver core. So from 10 through 6, Nick, you got anything you want to rebut?
Well, I was trying to come up with 3 excitements, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you know how, you and I are, and then, you come into contact with the rest of Bengals Nation. So, I mean, I guess we got everybody everybody on the same boat with, trying to find positives for this year. I'm 3 is about all I got right now. I'll let you finish your list.
Well, no, it's funny you brought that up. You only got 3. I mean, we have this thing called a master resiliency training where I work, where you have one of the things about master resiliency training is you have to hunt the good stuff. It's pretty hard to hunt the good stuff about the Bengals thus far. I mean, there's just a lot of concerns, and just to double tap on a couple of things I brought up, the coaches maybe even should have been higher on my list because I really am worried about the coaching staff. I'm not sure just how well they're going to do. But moving on into number 5 is the cornerbacks, and that includes everyone in the entire cornerback core, because even if you get rid of Adam Jones, you got Dre for a few more years, but Dre's not really a top performer like the way they paid him. Darqueze Dennard is still the verdict's still out and the jury's still out on him, so we'll have to wait and see. And William Jackson III, I've never even seen the guy in a uniform, so we'll see how well if he does well at all this year. And heck, they might even draft another cornerback, so that concerns me at number 5. Number 4, the man of glass, Tyler Eifert. Is he going to last for more than 3 games at a time and play more than 6 games in a season? Who knows? Hopefully he will. But I do have a lot of concerns when it comes to Tyler Eifert. Just really worried about it. Number 3, Adam Jones. He's still in a Bengals uniform right now. Why is he still in a Bengals uniform? And if he does stay and plays this year, I don't think he's going to be at a high level. I think he's going to really struggle. He's going to have a lot of bad baggage involved with, this whole offseason issue. And I don't think he's going to pan out. I just don't think he's going to play hard. I don't think he's going to play well. And the city is already upset with the team that he's still there. So unless he has an MVP caliber year and the Bengals win the Super Bowl, I don't see Adam Jones being any kind of benefit. So he's a giant concern. Number 2, the question mark himself, Jeremy Hill. Is he going to show up? I don't know. Is he ever going to be the Jeremy Hill that he was those 8 games his rookie season? I don't think so. I honestly think at this point in his career, he is just a waste of space. Why do we keep Jeremy Hill in this lineup? Well, I'll tell you why, because Rex Burkhead is now a Patriot. So you don't even have another healthy running back on your lineup except for Jeremy Hill. Sorry, Cedric Pearman, I'm not really considering you someone on the lineup at this point or on the roster. So really only person played at the end of last season is Jeremy Hill, and that is very concerning. He is not someone you want to put all your faith and trust into. Obviously, can't be anybody else but Cedric Oboye. There's no real other option. Put Andre Smith in his spot, but what good is that going to do? You're going to have a 1-year filler. And I don't see the Bengals wanting to draft another tackle in the first round a year from now. So Andre has really got to come out and shine this season. He doesn't have an option, but I don't know if he can. I really don't know if it's in him. I mean, maybe he'll come back and bounce back like John said a few weeks ago. But to have a tackle that's not successful is very bad. If your line is not good, and I know Nick, you'll jump right on this and probably have good thoughts on it to linemen, but if your line sucks, your team sucks. And if your tackle sucks, your offensive line sucks. You just have to have a tackle who can be consistent and do the things they need to do. So the biggest concern, Cedric Ogbuehi. Nick, what are your rebuttals?
Well, I'll go a little bit on your offensive line thing. It all starts out with the center because you got to have somebody who can snap the ball. Well, and then after you snap the ball, he's got to be able to block somebody. Then you run into the guards. Are they quick enough to be able to pull on counter plays on any kind of, pulling guard plays where you're going to pull the guard from the weak side or strong side to go weak or strong, respectively, opposite of where they're pulling from. Are they going to be able to get out in front of the running backs? And then you're going to have the tackles. Are they quick enough to be able to, block a J.J. Watt or, any kind of a decent tight end or defensive end or, a defensive five technique, which you play right outside the outside shoulder of the tackle. So, I mean, you run into those problems, but I think, my least excitement, I'm going to just go to 3 because I'm hunting here. I think my excitement is going to be the competition to see what kind of good things come out of the competition at the tackle position. Hopefully, the competition between Andre Smith and Ogbuehi is gonna bring out some talent in both of them. That's about all I got for that. Number 2, I would say my second most excitement is probably going to be to see if Jeremy Hill can stack up to what he is. I'm going to also add in there, hopefully we can get a good place kicker. I mean, you saw how bad, Nugent did for this past year. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, that's your job. My most excitement, now this is a legitimate excitement, is going to be to see Andy Dalton and A.J. Green starting the season healthy and starting the season ready to play and come out and really connect on some good pass plays. It'll be nice to see A.J. really do some cuts and really see him be able to show what kind of talent he has, because I think A.J. Green, as well as he's been talked about, I still don't think that people understand how good he is. I mean, A.J. Green really has
Sounds like we're having some technical difficulties over there on Nick's end, so I'm going to step in. I think he left out a few great excitements, in my opinion. I mean, definitely seeing AJ and Andy get together is always just an awesome thing. And I mean, I'm really excited to see AJ Green back on the field. I felt like he got shortchanged by that injury last year, missed out on a 1,000-yard season by so few yards. He was like right there, and that would have tied him with Randy Moss for most consecutive. But I just wish that, AJ Green just had a better opportunity or has a better opportunity this year, and I'm really excited to see them play. Another excitement that I have going into this season is another wide receiver. I think Tyler Boyd, actually 2 wide receivers, Tyler Boyd and Cody Core could just have standout seasons. They could just really come out this year and be tough. And, they could really be contributing players for the first time in their career. And the thing is, the Bengals have, they got Brandon LaFell back, but I think he's going to start taking more of a back seat. And Tyler Boyd's probably the biggest one I think should have a good year as a slot receiver. But Cody Core has the speed on the outside, so he could really have some great things happening for him. And I feel like, with Tyler Boyd and Cody Core, it's just such a strong receiving unit if they actually step up and play. They're a concern because they haven't proven it yet. But if they're able to step up and play to the level that I know they can, then it should be all right. But what am I most excited going into this season is definitely the draft. I hate mock drafts. I've spoken about it consistently that I dislike mock drafts. But at the same time, the actual draft is something I quite enjoy. And this is the first time in a long time that the Bengals have a high draft pick. They're going to be able to actually pick 10, a number 9 spot. Great things can happen when you draft high. This guy, when you draft high, is probably going to be a starter. He has to be a starter when you draft a number 9. So therefore, I think the Bengals should definitely be doing great things, doing the research, getting guys in, interviewing them, and figuring out who is the top player, who they should draft number 9, what will make the difference. The biggest difference makers, I think, that make me excited would be, especially now you lost Rex Burkhead, a wide receiver, a running back, somebody like that who can actually add to your offense. And that'd be really great if the Bengals could just get somebody that could add to their offense. So moving on a little bit here, Nick's had some technical difficulties and unfortunately has had to check out for a little while, so I'm running solo with it here. We're going to hold off on Roasted or Boasted for just a moment. And we're going to actually move into a little bit more of my final thoughts portion of the evening. So we're waiting for Nick to get through his technical difficulties. I usually don't get on this kind of subject very often, but, getting into what's in social media and the popular news these days, I heard Donald Trump made a comment about Colin Kaepernick and why he had not been re-signed. And at the same time, Spike Lee had made a comment about why Colin Kaepernick had not been signed. Two opposite ends of the spectrum, kind of dealing with the same issue. But first off, let me touch on Colin Kaepernick a little bit. What he did last season to protest the national anthem, in my personal opinion, was not right. It really was not right. It's disrespectful to the U.S. It's not appropriate way to do any kind of protest. And therefore, it was disconcerting to me that he was even allowed to remain on a team during last season. And now it's come to the free agency. He's still sitting on the market. And he's just not getting any offers, which is something I enjoy. I don't think he deserves another shot to play in the NFL. Calling yourself saying, oh, well, I'm protesting for something I believe in, that's fine, and that's your right as an American. And it's my right as an American to disagree with you completely. And I know that Spike Lee said he had not been signed and kept hinting at there was some underlying issue involving his race or, something to do with his protest. And I feel like that's very ignorant on Spike Lee's part. It doesn't make any sense why you would have to make those kind of comments. If he's a quality player and he's doing the right thing, what he looks like has no bearing on the game. This country, the fact that we keep trying to take this country backwards is insulting. It just doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, Trump had no business as the president of the United States making these kind of comments against a citizen and an individual. He's an athlete. You have big concerns and big worries. Why are you worrying about something like this? It's trivial, honestly, at this point. So I just really think that as far as the Colin Kaepernick situation goes, let's just get back to football. Let's just, worry only about the football. Let's get rid of the race issue. Let's get rid of the president making comments on stuff he shouldn't comment on. Let's get back to football. I think Nick's back up with us now. So, Nick, what do you got? Any other closing comments? Now that I got my final thoughts in, we'll go into Roasted or Boasted. You back with us?
Yeah, I'm back with us. Sorry about that. My computer restarted out of nowhere. Let's just start Roasted or Boasted. That way we don't waste time.
All right, so on to Roasted or Boasted. The first topic, Cedric Ogbuehi will be the backup behind Andre Smith. Nick, Roasted or Boasted?
I'm going to say, I hate to say it, but I'm going to boast it. Just plainly because, they're spending money on Andre Smith. I think that, the Bengals are going to try to push Andre Smith out there on the field over top of Ogbuehi. My hopes is maybe Ogbuehi's going to learn a different position other than where Andre Smith's going to be playing. So, but I'm going to have to boast it.
I will boast it as well. I think, that Andre Smith was brought back for a reason, and that reason was to ensure that Cedric Ogbuehi does not mess up next season. Is that going to happen? Not with bringing back Andre Smith. I don't think he's the right fit, but I'm definitely going to boast it that he's going to end up starting in front of Ogbuehi. Or if Ogbuehi doesn't start in front of Ogbuehi's still not going to start because Fisher's going to be there. So I don't think Ogbuehi's going to end up being a starter next season at this point. Now, a couple weeks from now, a month from now, watching training camp, who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, he is definitely not going to be a starter. Next topic we got in Roasted or Boasted is a guy that we're going to miss dearly. Rex Burkhead will be a top 5 running back in the NFL in 2017. I'm going bold on this one, and I'm going to boast it. I think that the Patriots, they do a lot of running back by committee, but they're going to give him his shot this year. They're going to let him run with the ball quite a bit, and they're going to give him a little taste at the beginning, like we'll see how he does, and he's just going to run with it. He's going to take off, take full advantage of every opportunity he gets, like he has done throughout his career, throughout his college days, throughout his high school days. He is just a competitor, and he does not let people down when they give him an opportunity. So Rex Burkhead is going to be a top 5 running back in the NFL this year. I feel it. This is going to be a breakout season, and everybody's going to look at Cincinnati like they have before and going, wow, how did you guys miss out on this guy? Nick?
All right. Yeah, I'm going to definitely boast it as well. I think that Rex Burkhead's going to have a year this year. I think the Patriots will finally let him run the ball and give him a chance. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. You know, the Patriots, they have a good line, and they have a good play set up. I mean, sorry about that. My son's over there laughing. You know, Tom Brady does a really good job of mixing up the plays and being able to do the play actions. And I think that he's gonna give Rex his due. I think it's his year. I'm gonna boast it. Casey.
Yeah. Kicking it back to you here for the last topic of Roasted or Boasted. It's on you this week, buddy.
The USA is going to be able to beat Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. What's your thoughts, Case?
Well, first they got to beat Japan tonight. I'm actually watching it on my iPad as we speak, so hopefully they can make it past Japan. It's a tough game right now, but if they make it up against Puerto Rico, PR is going down. USA all the way. Now, if the U.S. loses, I'm pulling for Puerto Rico because technically it's part of the U.S., so I'd cheer for them over Japan. But if the U.S. can make it past Japan tonight, I think they can take down Puerto Rico tomorrow. Nick, what do you think?
I think that the U.S. is going to have a tough road. Obviously, beating Japan is going to be number one priority because they're playing them, as we speak. But beating Puerto Rico is going to be tough. Puerto Rico is a tough team. They showed against the Netherlands that they don't quit till the end. The last out is the last out, and they continue to keep showing time and time again that they go out and they compete until the last out. And last night they showed that against the Netherlands. It was a great game. I actually had to stay up to watch it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that the U.S. hopefully we can come out and beat Japan tonight, and then come out and beat Puerto Rico. I mean, I think Puerto Rico is a team to beat this year, and I really hope that the U.S. can beat them.
Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for us. Nick, what are your final thoughts?
I think the Bengals have a lot of tough choices to make here shortly. I think that Andre Smith and Abuehi is going to have a tough competition this year for starting on who's going to start. I think that if Abuehi really wants to get out on the field, I think he's going to have to really beat Andre Smith, and I think he's really going to have to show him up to even get on the field because what they did to get Andre Smith back. But I mean, I think the Bengals they have a tough road ahead of them. They got a lot of preparation to be successful this year.
Well, I pretty much already gave my final thoughts during your technical difficulties, but I'm going to tap on it just one more time as far as, just keep politics and political agendas and all of your little, social escapades out of sports. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear about I'm protesting this or I'm fighting for this cause. If it's something good like, breast cancer awareness, or, you're fighting against autism, or you're actually helping a group of people out. But by picking a side in a political agenda and saying that you're doing something great, by insulting the United States of America or hindering somebody else's ability to enjoy a game, keep it out of the sport. I don't care if it's football, baseball, basketball, anything. Keep your political agenda and your opinions and your social whatever out of my games and out of sports. Well, that's not a fun note to end on, but that is it for the week. Thank you for joining us. Check us out at Talkin Bengals on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play. Have a wonderful week. Hoo-day.
Hoo-day.